All right, folks. Let's talk. We're going today. We're going to first lecture on orthographic projection. And everybody's going like, what is that? Well, you should have had a pretty good idea from some of the prelim work we did, prelim videos, so you have an idea what it is. But this is orthographic projection. This is how you display a 3D object in 2D when 2D transfers with all your dimensions and everything on here. So you can see that we have all our dimensions right here. So on your front side, which means that we're looking in this way. So let's do this real quick. So on your front side, we're going to have, come on, there we go. We have here, we have this, we have all this yellow right here. This is what everything you can see right here. That's all you can see. And that correlates to this here and this here, because that's all you can really see. So this here is that there. Now, so let's go and get another color here. Now we go to the top view. So we have here, come on, we have this, we have that, we have this here, and we have this here. What that correlates to is this right here, this right here, this right here, and this over here. I'll forget it. Don't ignore that. Okay, so you basically got this, this, and this is what you can see from the top. You see this right here. Now, from the right side view, you'll be seeing this right here, 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 and there. So what this here we have this and this will be this right here, and this right here, and this over here, this here, and that there. So sorry about the crazy markups here, but basically these sides here is everything you'll see. You'll see this here, this, this, and that. That's all you'll see from this side view looking in this way when you looked at it straight in. Okay, so just think about that, how you just keep it in your mind is like, okay, what exactly can I see when I look at that? Don't assume, don't try to second guess what's around anywhere else. Just draw what you see. Okay. Okay. Go to the next page. Okay, here again, we see front view, which is this right here, side view, which is this here and that there, and you have your top view, which is that and that. And that's all you see. Now, you would have some hidden lines in there because you have that hole in there. So you'd have hidden lines in here too, but don't worry about that right at the moment. But that's the basic concept of third degree angle orthographic projection. Here again, front, top, bottom, side, right side, left side, and if you had to see something in back, it's on the other side of the left side. See front here, right side, and top. So really, I mean, it's not hard, but you have to keep in mind, a lot of people get in trouble when they try to draw. They know there's something else going on, so they try to draw it in there, even though you can't see it from that particular side. Okay? So talk about third angle and first angle. this screwed me up for the longest time. I never did quite understand why they did this, but this is what happened. So just remember, third angle is what is basically standard in the US right here. And everything is front side, top side is above the front, and the right is on the right. You know, pretty obvious. Front, top, right side. And it's on the right side, so it pretty makes sense that way. You think about it, it's at a you're basically taking looking at like we did with that previous view where you had the box, and what we're doing is we're basically taking this and we're rotating it out, and you have that now you have it in the front, you taking the top and you're rotating it up, and it's now on the top, and that's third angle. Okay, now third angle has screwed me up for the longest time because you don't really look at it directly. You're looking at the reflection on the inside panel. So front side is here, but when you look at the top, you're looking down this way, and when you rotate that down, it's on the bottom. That's the way they did it. And that's mostly European and some Asian countries do it this way. The biggest thing to remember here is that if you look at a drawing and you see a front and the next drawing is on top, it's third angle. If you look at it and you see one here and the next one is down to the bottom, then most likely you got a first angle projection. Okay. Now, the other thing is that here we go. Here's another way to look at it. Same thing. You see how the reflection, you don't see the you're not here. You see exactly what's on the front side. On first angle, you're seeing the reflection on the back wall, on the basically back wall. It's almost like you're shining a light into it, and you're getting the image on the back. And then same thing, when you look at it from the top, you're looking down and it's down here because you're shining a light on it, and the image is down here. So when you rotate that out, the top becomes down the bottom. The right side, when you're looking on the right side, it's over here, and that rotates out that way, and you get it here. And this is the first, what basically we do for third angle: front, right side, top. Now we'll talk about these indications. This is a indicator, a symbol for third angle projection. This is a symbol for first angle projection. Here, what you have is a cone, and you're looking on third angle. You're looking in the cone. It's basically the cone's pointing at you. You got the point in your nut. You got the point closest to you, and you're looking straight into it. Here, now, when you want to look at the right side, it's on the right. Now, first angle projection, same thing. You got the cone. You're looking straight. You're looking at it, but it's really on the back side. And then when you look at the right side, it goes off to the left. Okay, so that's when you see this, you just remember if the first angle projection will be on the left, third angle projection will be on the right. Okay, why they did that, don't know. But this makes a lot more sense to me than that. This screwed me up for the longest time. Okay, here we're looking at this item here, and we're looking from the front this way. We have that, and then we're looking at the top, which is here because it basically rotated up, and this is on the side here. Okay, so and then we'll get into, these are welding symbols, and this tells you that this is a fillet weld, both sides 1/2 inch. This is a fillet weld 5/8 on both sides. and WP17. So these are notes, but we'll get through these later. But what we're doing now is just trying to get the basic concept of the drawing. All right, so let's get something a little easier to look at. So here we have a basic pictorial of a T-joint. Now, if I gave you a T-joint and said, draw me a orthographic projection of a T-joint, what you want to do is say which view gives me the most information about what I'm doing. And if I basically look here, this here has the most information here. This shows me, hey, I got a T-joint. And it shows, and well, I got a front side. Top basically looks like that. And side view looks like this, with your bottom metal and your upper piece here. Same thing with this lap joint. What shows me the most information that I can see? I can see the most right here. This gives me the most information, tells me what I'm doing. If I get this, I could figure out what it was. But this says, oh, okay, that's a lap joint. I know what I'm doing there. And you can really work with that. Front, top, side. Okay. Okay. Now, same thing here. This is just a review real quick. So, how do you do this? Just be sure you know what we got going here. This is your pictorial view, and you're looking at it and you say, okay, how do I want to show this? If I handed you a T-joint and you started looking at it, what gives me the best view, gives me the most information about what I'm doing? This view right here, so that becomes my front side. That's my top, that's my side. All right. Same thing here. This drawing, you saw this drawing on the quiz previously. But basically you have a front view, top view, side view. Everything will be laid out like that, so you can look at it and go, you can kind of look at it. You take it almost like a 3D object and you're rotating it in your hand. So when you start to build this, you can help develop that. You have to get in the idea of being able to develop this, and in your mind develop a 3D image of what you've got. Okay. Oh, the other thing I want to tell you, see this right here? This here is important. This is your title bar, your title block or title bar. It tells you, it has information in here like the quantity number, what the material is, your scale, so 1/2 inch equals 1 inch, and drawing number, date, what it is. It helps you can put information in here to help make this easier to understand. If you had a particular type of metal or something you had to do, this is where you put that information. Also your scale. And remember, that's working with your architectural ruler, so you have a 1/2 inch equals 1 inch, architectural scale. And then you saw, and hopefully you looked at those videos about how to read an architectural scale. Architectural ruler, I should say. Okay, here's another orthographic projection. Again, front view, top view, side view. The reason it is important to do this is that when you have to measure this. You're going to have to measure your first view, because you got to know, okay, how wide is this? How tall is it? You'll need to measure this. Now, your next top view, you're not going to have to remeasure the width of it, because you already know what it is, because you just follow these lines up, straight up. That's your one edge, that's your other edge. So you know how wide it is automatically. Now, then all you have to do is measure across here to get this measurement. And once you do that, you have your basic information. Same thing with your right here. Where's this hidden line? Where's this at? Oh, you just carry that straight up. Ah, my hidden line is right there. And that shows me that. Same thing when you have this here for your holes. You got your center line and you have your edges of your hole, right, going straight up. So you don't have to measure more than one time on some of these. Now, on your side view, you basically don't have to measure the height because you already know what that is because you've already measured it. You've already developed it here. So you carry that projection lines over and you now have your height of that item. Now, in order to get some of this information from here down to here, because we don't know how wide this is yet, right? So if you draw a 45-degree line straight up like that, and you carry over 45 degrees and come straight down, you will get the exact width, which was or the depth of it, I should say. You'll get the exact depth that you measured here because you carried it over from there. You don't have to remeasure it. That's why it is really important to be neat, use a ruler, and use graph paper. If you don't do that, this becomes almost a nightmare. I mean, it becomes almost impossible to do this without without rulers and graph paper. If you have graph paper, you can pretty much do this without having to measure a lot. You don't have to remeasure. You don't have to remeasure every one of these items because you just carry it up on the thing and you know right where you're going. Okay. Once again, here we go again here too. Now, here we carried up this edge here, this edge here, this edge here, this edge here, went straight up to here. Okay. Now, what we measured 50 inches across here, we measured one across here, 50 inches. This is already done, so you're done with that with one measurement by doing that. Now here, you can see this here goes straight over and comes straight down right there. And then to carry it over, you go over. Well, I'm not going to do that, but you could, you basically did the 45-degree thing. You could go here, down to here, here, down to there. And you wouldn't have to measure it. That's so you can do this. Now, what you would normally do is you'd have these dimensions over on these drawings. You most likely may not have this in your drawing. Most likely you won't have a pictorial view on a blueprint that you're working from. You'll have this, and you'll have information on this. Like you'll have 50 inches over here. You'll have 70 inches over here. You'll have 30, 20, 20, that type. You'll have that all this dimensional information on these drawings. You won't have this.